Welcome, chat. How are we doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful start to your weekend. And yeah, my name is Kyokan and we're here to do some feedback. So I am on a bit of a time crunch today, so I'm gonna be as quick as I can today. So we're not gonna do any duplicates, unfortunately, this week. So if you sent in a bunch of IDs, I'm just gonna pick the first one that you sent, provided the link is working. And yeah, I guess let's get right into it. Let me just make sure this is working. Cool. All right, I'm gonna start. Let's go. First up is Paulo. Awesome. ID remix. Oh, okay. I don't know if it's this song or if it's a different song, but let's just take a listen.
You made plans and I made problems. We were sleeping back to back.
It's not quite ID remix, but you know.
Knew this day wasn't built to last. Good on paper, picture perfect. Chase a high too far too fast. Picket white fence will be painted black. And I wish you would hurt me harder than I hurt you. And I wish you would away from me, but you always do. I've been hoping somebody loves you in the ways I couldn't. Somebody's taking care of you. Someone you love to change. I've been hoping someone to love you let me go.
Nice.
Let me go.
Cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm sort of, my position on this is like good, solid, definitely really like quality remix. It sounds like a lot of your other stuff, which is a good thing. You've definitely developed your own sound. I do kind of wish you made a little more creative use of the vocal in the drop. Like, instead of just using phrases, like actually having like interesting like moments where you use like, you know, like take a snippet of the vocal chop or something and then make like a granular chord out of it. Could be kind of cool. Or yeah, some kind of cool like wide effect just to give some contrast, because pretty much all I'm hearing is like bass chords and lead, and like you're doing some nice filtering in between with the chords, which is nice, but I just think you have more room to get a little more creative, or like an extra lead that's a unique lead from the main one. It's kind of going in between. Heard a lot of people do that. Sounds pretty good. You could also like benefit from a little more like mids in the chords probably. It sounds clean like this, which is good, but personally I prefer to have a slightly muddier mix just for the extra influence in the mids, because I just find it sounds more emotional. Not much to really say. Paulo's kind of cracked. You've definitely nailed this type of style, so yeah, I don't really got more to say than that. Like I said, I'm gonna be going pretty fast today, so I don't know if that just means I'm gonna ramble less than I normally do, or what, but we'll find out. As I just pinned the feedback link for you, by the way. What's up, DMH? Hello, Fire. All of the classiest people in chat. Roxy, we haven't done a Roxy one in a while. Remix as well. Let's take a listen.
Yo, hear that? Over, smell the aroma. Them done that really long time. Been around when the skinny couldn't wake from a coma. Listen, you hear that? Shots get fired in the walls. Right for the swing like the wheels in them wrists. Not an increase, really, and
This is very interesting.
Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle.
Whoa.
aroma. Them done dead already long time when I rap and the skin couldn't wake from a coma. Listen, you hear that? Shots get fired in the walls, right for the skin like gorillas in the mist. Nothing ain't Chris, really end up in the jungle.
It's such an interesting, like, plucky sound. You guys go Mad Ass now? Yeah, real. Let's go, Discontent is here.
Yo, listen, you hear that? Kid is in the jungle. Kid is in the jungle. Kid is in the jungle. Yo, listen, you hear that?
The drill break?
Kid is in the
I
jungle.
rate it.
Kid is in the jungle. Kid is in the jungle.
Yo, what's up, Zeal, the real deal?
Listen, you hear that? Kid is in the jungle. Kid is in the jungle.
Whoa! Damn. Yeah, I love how Discontent Soldier, the snare is insane on the second drop. Because the first one is like the ISO snare. I think it's from Kids Come Mad, but it's also from one of the Knock 2 remixes. What is it called? Like Desire is Blind ISO remix or something to that effect, but it's the same snare as that. This snare sounds super layered and nice. Notes. First one is definitely like the kick here needs way more like punchiness. It gets pretty buried. Like the whatever it's called, the dotted bass, the side bass is like coming through way stronger than the kick. So it may just mean that you need a top layer, or you need like, if you've made the kick yourself, you can just add more like punch to make the transient poke out more. It may also just be a little quiet. For the first drop, I feel like I'm just missing the sub, really. It feels quite weak, especially if you compare here. Like there's a lot of sub here, and then here. Like this Reese doesn't really feel like it has a very powerful sub to it. So I would say definitely make the sub, or like, you know, add an 808 or something. Just make it more powerful so you get that really, yeah, deep low end. And then also here somewhere. Yeah, you have this like B part type of thing with the bongos. But they just sound like percussions. Like they sound like they're supposed to be a complementary element to everything else that's going on. But I think you should just make it like the main sound of that section. Saturate it a lot. So just make it really beefy. You know, make sure it's still punching. There's a really great video, I forget who it's by though, on how to use M Saturator to add saturation without losing dynamics. Something like that in combination with some like traditional distortion would make these bongos I think they're bongos, whatever the percussion is, really beefy. And then additionally, just like a little creative thought is like the vocal here. You could add some slapback delay. So slapback delay is just really short, like 16th note delay. And just a little bit of that could help make the vocal really pop out and be more interesting. Thank you for the feedback, Yokon. I will do that. You are welcome, Discontent. That is kind of it. All right. Moving on. Trapped. I think we heard this last week. Made the vocal more present, added delay to the vocal, more reverb, high into the lead, removed some kicks and replaced them with LFO, enhanced the chords a bit. If you think this is ready for release, then what should I do with it? All right, let's take a listen. We heard this last week for context, for those of you who weren't there. And I gave it some feedback, so now we'll get to see how it sounds like now. This track is really cool, though. You should keep the Brian for the final release. That sounds wonderful. I think you really nailed the whole vibe now. I think definitely the balance between kicks and not feels way more musical, if that makes sense. Like before it was like, okay, too many kicks. Now it feels like all the kicks have like a real purpose and they're all flowing together. It's a fantastic track, genuinely. I will say the mastering sounds slightly over compressed. Not that I think you should roll it back a bunch, because it has a nice sound to it, but I did notice that by the time I got to like the 3-minute mark, 3.5-minute mark, my ears were starting to feel really fatigued just from listening to music that's really compressed. Some of that may be that you keep the drop as compressed in your master, but you actually roll it back a bit for the breaks, so the breaks aren't as compressed, and then when you come in for the drop, it'll make the drop feel way more powerful, because yeah, it's going to be more compressed and louder, and you have a bit more contrast. So the easiest way to do that is just, however much you're going into your limiter, just take a gain clip or take your literal limiter gain knob, reduce it by 1.5 dB. This is like a really old school trick as well. And then just like, maybe reduce it even a little bit more in your build. In this case, you don't really have like a super definitive build, so you don't need it. But yeah, just once you get into drop, just have it go into full volume. Welcome to the stream, Tincho. Rio, welcome to the stream. That's pretty much it. You can maybe make the vocals have a bit more mids to them, because right now they do feel a bit too high-endy. Like, it's good. They're definitely way more present, but I would just take a look at making sure they don't feel too like up here. It kind of has an interesting effect to it, but yeah, a little more mids just to make it feel a bit more whole could be good. And it doesn't have to be much. It can even just be like 2-3 dB, around like somewhere between 1K and 2.5K hertz would probably be like around about the right place to add those mids in. Older, new idea. All right. Evan Scott coming in probably with another banger. Looking forward to it. Let's go. Oh, good start. Kyokan, when are you starting the stream? Shut the fuck up, Discontent. Also, I love... Wait, I gotta stop. I love how Fire is like, yeah, bro, it's true, all these people with this freaking talent. And when he literally makes some of the craziest trap music I've ever heard. And I'm here like the peasant giving you guys feedback. Like, okay. Alright, let's take a listen. This is gonna be so good, I already know. Yo, what's up, Piers?
Remember when I told you my fears about us getting older? Will you still care, my love? Do you remember all that we wanted, the places we go to? Oh, how the years go by.
Yo, what's up, Connecticut?
All of these pictures hanging on the wall. I would do it again, 'cause now I know it's the days sitting in silence, just doing nothing but being together. The life we created means everything to me. So I don't mind getting older. As long as I grow with you. It's the days sitting in silence, just doing nothing but being together. The life we created means everything to me.
Sick. This is sick. Evan Scott, my beloved. True.
For better, no
Man, I was all tabbed in that exact moment, and then it ended. I was like, no. I really love this break and stuff. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this vocal. Like, this vocal is quite well sung. which is rare for. I'm pretty sure I've heard this vocal before. I'm sorry if this is like a custom vocal and I'm like saying, oh, this is spliced vocal, but I think definitely for the break you can pan a lot of these elements much more. So have a guitar a little bit pan to the right, one of the other elements to the left. Let's see what's in.
Places we go to, how the years go by.
Because you have the little vocal ambient delay, whatever the thingies are that are out, but like it's just the guitar, this like little bass underneath. So I would say just like, yeah, have a little more stereo movement. And what I would suggest is have the break be stereo, and then once you get to the build, bring it back closer to like, have less things in the stereo space so that when you bring in the drop again, it feels wide. I will say this dunk dunk thing needs like a couple of perks or something, or like smaller, colorful, but somewhat percussive elements to set it up, because it feels a bit random when it's like we have this like and then it just like the whole rhythm like, or the whole drop feels like it stops for a moment, and then we have dong 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 dong, which doesn't really connect with any of the other elements. Again, can we listen again? Sure.
It's the days sitting in silence, just doing nothing but being together. The life we created, being for better.
That's super cool. I mean, it needs like obviously more mixing and stuff, but I already know that you know how to do that, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. Yo, what's up, Harshith? We are doing well. We have so many bangers today. This is crazy already. I really wish I had more to offer you, but that whole thing of the stereo space, fill it out a bit more, and maybe even take some of the guitar elements and bring them into the drop as like, not as main elements, but as fills, as like little in-between moments, can really help sweeten the whole thing. Did bro send me his profile? Yeah, I don't know what to do with this. So, original songs, good banner. Next track, Bleed remix. I feel this fucking horse right now, dude. This is me every time I get to like 7 p.m. Like, I sit in front of my window like, oh. Alright, let's take a listen. Oh, it's Green Dragon. What's up, Green Dragon?
Look what I've become, just an empty shell. Trapped inside a runaway in my own hell. No redemption here, just a bit of fate. Nothing left to do but just to decay. If I'm the attraction, you guys look away. Cause when you're all distracted, I'm digging your grave. 30 years, nothing to show for it. But now I'm back from the dead, and you best believe I'm on the prowl.
24-hour feedback stream. I did not promise this. This is a lie. This is propaganda by the deep state.
30 years, nothing to show for it. But now I'm back from the dead, and you best believe I'm on the prowl.
God damn.
Left behind to suffer in my hollowness. Couldn't make a sound, I could barely breathe. But I'll always
Right, exactly.
Coming back on the attack, your misery, no other feel sharp and teeth will make you bleed, make you soul a part of me. By the time you had, I thought you just across the fire.
We hear you, we see. We'll never let you leave.
Just die.
You want to be free,
Leave me alone.
but now you're stuck in me.
Switch it up. I hear you. I see.
Bro, cooked.
You'll never let me leave.
Kinetic, Lishan al-Ghaibi, Lishan al-Ghaibi. Oh my god. That was insane. Kyokan vibing. This is more than vibing. This is... Whoa, that was so hard. My AirPod is on fire. Real. Some of the best side tracks. Dude, honestly, who said it? I think Fire said sign this immediately. Please. Also, like, genuinely, like, oh man, if you guys didn't find a place to sign this, like, I genuinely believe that someone, like, I don't know if Disciple would sign something like this, only because I have no idea what Disciple's, like, standards or criteria are. If this wasn't a remix, I would say for sure, like, I would sign this in a heartbeat, because it's so fucking good. I genuinely find this vocal kind of confusing.
Trapped inside a
Like, the way it fits in the mix as well. One, it's a bit too loud. Like, now, let me feedback this. I have to collect myself. Okay, the vocal's a bit loud. It needs a bit of reverb. Like, not a huge reverb, but like an extra send with a shorter, you know, maybe half a second reverb, just to give it a bit of space so it doesn't feel like it's just, you know, dry slapped in the middle of the track, because it fits here.
where you're all distracted.
You know, it kind of has this more hip-hoppy vibe where you don't really have reverb, or it's like subtle. But here, where you have these like reverbed out elements, it feels quite weird.
Empty shell. Trapped inside a rattle.
So yeah, a bit of reverb on the vocal, especially there. Pretty sure we'd get on Disciple if they didn't care about how popular the artist is. Yeah, I mean, Stemt is a whole different situation, because they just straight, like, have closed. Like, they don't take on new artists in the same way. Like, Stemt is what I would consider, like, you have open labels, which are places like NCS or yeah, I don't know about Disciple, but, you know, NCS is just a good example where, like, it does not matter if you're like a small artist. If you think about an artist like Arya, for example, who was fairly small, like, yeah, he had a bunch of releases tracked up, and his tracks were obviously amazing, but he wasn't like a big artist. Stemt is not like, doesn't matter if you're a big artist, like, you need to get like a big, you need to first like collab or have some sort of signing in there, or get in through like the remix contests. Eleganto is like an example of somebody who just like won a remix contest and then collabed with basically everybody. Someone like Arcando now is working a lot with Stamped, because he, you know, Martin Garrix played his Jungle remix live like a bunch of times, and so now he just gets to work with like Loire and all these other sick ass people. The funny thing is, I've chatted with Arcando like at AD. It's so weird being like, oh, this guy was like, felt like he was a small artist, and now he's like at the top. Yeah, as well. The Herman Brood Academy, like, they get so many artists through there. It's mostly that the artists who come from there, who end up then in Stamped, then kind of go back there and make a bunch of connections and stuff. So it's a very like family type of label. Okay, let me actually give feedback to the fucking track. I'm getting distracted. The like loud reverb here, I would swap some of the claps, like not every other clap, but maybe every fourth clap, for like a really similar type of snare, but just to give some variation. Oh my god, this is too good. Yeah, just like every now and then like a snare. Are you gonna go? Well, at least you stayed for this fucking banger. Here as well, you do like the halftime thing and it sounds really sick. but it does need some kind of element at some point. I would do like the first 4 bars maybe, just like this, and then add an extra element that's like, you know, a hat or some sort of like ride, just to give a little more rhythm and energy to it, because it does start to get boring by the time you get to like here. Yeah, like a crazy ride could be quite cool. Oh, this made my day. Oh my god, amazing. Yeah, please, honestly, like, please make this an original and release it. So damn good. And if you wanted to release it on Sanctuary, I'd sign it in a heartbeat, like, genuinely. Whoa! Is this gonna be an Uzi remix? Probably not. Plus 20 dB. Or introduce the rap sample. You could also do that for that track. This is vibey. Drums are kind of quiet. Sound selection is sick though. I agree. This is a pretty sick idea. I have to say though, like, I like this way that you're like combining elements and distorting them together, which is I think how you're kind of getting at this sound. It feels like the mix, because of the way you sound designed it, is missing. I don't know. It's giving me the same feeling as when you have something that's really hard comb filtered with like a high resonance, where it's like, it gives it like a sharp and interesting sound, but it also feels a bit hollow. Like you are missing those other frequencies. So I'd say something like a vocal granular chord preset, which is a bit softer, and is going to bring in some more like organic layering, and then just layer it as like a chord, or, you know, it doesn't have to be like a big chord. It can even just be like 2 notes. To play over this bass could give it the final touch that it needs. And you can even have it just be like very stereo, because like this bass is in the middle, and then you can have like this wide chord that's being automated or doing like filtering or something that's filling out the stereo frequencies more. And as far as writer's block is concerned, I've been in writer's block for like a year, I swear to God. It's not even that. I feel like I'm mostly in writer's block, and then every now and then I just like get lucky. Especially now, for my university, for my bachelor, I'm working on a sample pack. Speaking of, like, probably not for everyone watching, but at some point I will put out like pieces of it, ask for feedback. I'll probably put out some stuff on my Instagram. So if you guys want to follow me there and see how it's going, I'll post some stuff from there if you guys are interested about how it's going with the sample pack, get some feedback. I used to get lucky lots of times, now it's gone. Yeah, for real. But yeah, writer's block, it just happens. Sometimes you kind of just gotta ignore it. I know for sure with my sample pack, that's all I'm doing. Is just like, I don't feel like working on music, but I need to do it. So I'm buying, what the fuck? The sample pack? Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take me a couple of months, probably. It probably won't be done for another 4 or 5 months. But yeah, I'm hoping to have something around like 200 samples. And it should be pretty unique and interesting, and hopefully very useful. Like, I'm going to do a bunch of, like, drum textures and stuff. So it's not going to have, like, a hardcore drum kit. I might make one just for the final release, but... yeah, it's going to have a bunch of, like, extra cool organic layers and stuff. Loops and stuff. What's writer's block? Writer's block is just when you feel like you don't have any creativity and you can't work on anything. You literally can't do anything creative. Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that. Oh, Jarn's releasing IDs. Let's go. Yeah, I wish I had more feedback for you, Green Dragon, but it's kind of already sick. Maybe also just like spice up the break. Try something really random. You could also try doing like copying this, so like making the full arrangement and seeing if you can work in like an aim break or something in there. Could be fun. No name depressing stuff. Alright, let's get it. This is a crazy cover art to put. I'm very curious. I'm in the mood to leak an ID today. Please. Sorry to pause, but like I agree the cover image is a bit trippy, but what bothers me more is that it's so low resolution. It's so low resolution that it just feels weird. Okay. Geometry Dash? I haven't played much Geometry Dash, but I feel like Geometry Dash is usually much faster paced. Hey, Toxic Great, what's up? You need to go back into the VOD and listen to Kinetic's ID. It was just so insane. This is very cool. This is different to a lot of the stuff we normally get, so it's always nice to have diversity. Cool. I think I have some solid notes actually for this one. Okay. First, I'm gonna touch on the vocal stuff. Okay, never mind. I was gonna suggest adding more doubles, but you kind of have them here in the build. As a good time as any to touch on like the transitions. Feels like the transitions between the different sections is kind of clunky, and so what I would suggest is you want to basically what you want to do is you want to smooth it out. And for me, the easiest way to think about it is that the 2 bars before you're swapping to a new part of the arrangement and the 2 bars after are in a way like its own section. And think about it as like a bridge, where when there's a river, like you don't just want to like go from like bam to bam. You want to build like a bridge over to it with its own unique elements and stuff. You also want to take elements that are coming in the section in front and find ways to sort of allude to them or build up to them already, you know, in those couple bars beforehand. But yeah, think about adding like reverses or adding like a little, not like an exhaust, because in this type of genre you wouldn't really enjoy hearing an exhaust, but like, you know, a little, you know, like piano flourish with a reversed reverb going into it. Maybe like a sub drop with a reverse going into it, so you have like a reverse sub drop and then a sub drop like hitting right here. Because here you have this like kick, or this, is it a kick or a snare? I think it's a snare. You have this like, and then it just feels like the whole track cuts off. So if you add some elements like just before and like on that hit to really smooth out the section, it's one, it's going to carry the energy over, and two, it's not going to feel jarring to the listener. You're going to be like, oh, okay, like we've moved now into a different section. We're keeping up the energy and the momentum that we're building. And okay, now we're changing into, you know, going to a chorus. Kyokan, show me some good electro song examples. I need inspo right now. I mean, I don't know if I'm the right person to do that. First drop mixing is a bit weird for my taste, but yeah, it's cool. I'm not going to talk too much about the mix because I think there's other things. Well, I mean, I will, but the vocal here, I would definitely add some more reverb. Something with like 1 second to 1.5 seconds of decay time would be good. And this will help it sit a bit better in the mix. This is sort of similar to Kinetic's track where the vocal feels quite dry, where all the other elements have reverb on them. Ideally, you want to use the same reverb, but you don't have to. But it does sound more natural and congruent if you use the same reverb size and length for all of the elements, because, you know, you get the feeling like they're all in the same room together. So yeah, that is also a thing. I think for the drop, my biggest note is the kick. It feels quite soft. So kicks are divided into like 3 sections. You have like the transient, which is the initial first couple milliseconds, the thumpiness, and then you have the tail. And this one, it feels like the transient and the thump are quite rounded off, so they don't have like a lot of high end, and they don't come in super hard. It kind of just like, it's like boom, instead of like, it's missing that. So I would try experimenting with punchier kicks, especially considering all the other drum samples are a lot more punchy. It doesn't need to be like a super clicky future bounce type of kick or anything, but just something with a bit more oomph at the front. I was supposed to leave like 10 minutes ago. I don't know if my fam forgot me, but I'm still here. But we're happy to have you. We are your fam now. Yo, Dog Street. Hey, we're getting all the homies in here. This is amazing. I missed having so many people in chat, for real. More body? Yeah, exactly. Toxic Wraith knows what I'm talking about. I think that's it. So I hope something in there is helpful. Wow, it's the same track from last. What is this? When did I make this face? Someone needs to find me the clip of this. I want to know what I was reacting to. I mainly want feedback on mixing, please. Alrighty. 5 minutes. Okay. We have a bunch of tracks in the queue, so I'm going to try to be speedy. So I might skip through this because it's quite a long track. Oh, this is already cool. Oh. So good.
Ever since you came back, I can barely breathe. All the talk about you, you're all I can see. Wish I wasn't hung up on somebody like you.
Bro's moaning. I guess I was.
Got a new vibe. Didn't think that you'd change in the blink of an eye. I remember who you were back when.
Morar. Oh, yeah, I've seen him in our server before.
I keep running through the night. Last time you looked me in the eye, you said that everything was fine. I'm still patching up my heart, still driving out to where we park.
Goodbye, Discontent. We will miss you. Oh my god, we're peaking back at 15 concurrence again. Let's go.
Rewind time.
Okay, let's see. Adesso che tempo. Rhythm, it's lacking the fullness. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna start giving you feedback now because I think there's a whole nother drop. What the fuck? Okay, let me give you feedback on this one, and then we'll touch on that because I have a feeling that's a whole different set of feedback because it sounds quite different. For this, the biggest thing I'm noticing is I'm wondering. There's actually like your low end is wide, so the bottom end of your track, I would say generally 300 hertz and down. I've talked about this so much on stream, like stereo image and stuff, but generally you want it to look like a triangle, so the sub frequencies are completely mono, and then as you go further up, you have more room to get wider. It feels like everything below 300 hertz is like out here, so it's super wide, and what's gonna happen is that your low end doesn't really feel powerful and tight. Like it's loud, and it can sometimes be a really cool effect to have the low end a bit wide. If you guys are familiar, or you guys can just Google or look up on SoundCloud Joel. He used to have like stereo sub, but it would sound amazing for that type of style. For this, you really want it to be tight, exciting. So definitely bring in the low end. Also, I would suggest bringing it back 200 hertz, especially here. It just feels like that 200 hertz is taking up a lot of space, and so it's masking the other elements of the frequency spectrum. This is Geometry Dash. I kind of agree, yeah. That's the biggest thing I'm noticing here. I also think it gets too quiet in your builds. Like this is really, really quiet. I also think you need more mids and highs overall. Some of that will get better when you remove the low mids, but somewhere around like 3K definitely needs a boost to make it feel full. And then also around like maybe 10K to give it some more sharpness, some more clarity. All right, let's listen to this drop over here. Drink left us. Who does this sound like? No, it sounds like someone else, not Dirty Palm. This is sick though. Maybe like Andrew A or Sick as well. Fortnite intro thing guy. was trying to EQ it while I was listening to it. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I sent an ID queue on how many in queue. I think I have at least like 10 tracks in queue. Oh, do we have like, I think 7 or 8 tracks at least. I'm trying to go through them fast, but you have so much to talk about. Yeah, there's about 10 tracks. Ooh, I see Smurfy collab. Very exciting. Oh, and Rossetto. Not familiar with him. Yeah, I would say here also, like, look at reducing some of the low mids and stuff, specifically in your bass, just to make sure that it's not overpowering the rest of the stuff. Who's Smurfy? They did a remix together. Mine there? Yes, yours is definitely in here somewhere. Don't know where, but it's somewhere. All right, I'm gonna move on because we gotta keep going. Haven't put enough time to really figure out the mix and all that, and a lot. But this is the best thing I have to submit right now. Let's go. Weird experimenting. We love it. Why does this look like Eliminate for real? It's a tie. Ooh. Whoa. Wow. This is insane. Oh, I'm so in love with the electronic hip hop direction that Discontent is going in. I swear Discontent is like just Imanu but not DMB. Like he's reaching that level of quality. It's so good. Transition is so good. There's literally nothing for me to say here. Like, please collab with Ryan Koss or somebody like insane, because I want to know what you guys are gonna make together. This guy's serious potential. We have a collab, and I haven't been able to finish it. I think I'm gonna work on it today. I can maybe leak it. I'm sure you guys have heard it at some point, but we have a collab together, and I haven't finished it. It's my fault that it's not out. Nah. Like, nah, I haven't leaked it before. Sure, at the end, we'll do that today. I love this. Please, please, please finish it. I don't even have feedback for you. It's just like, this is so good. There's really nothing for me to say. Remember, okay? Y'all can remind me as well, you know. Jinx Future and Asta ID. Let's go. Ooh. Sexy woman trap. Yes. Yes, we love it.
Falling deeper into the wild, miles of dark skies, led astray by my wandering eyes, running away.
This sexy woman, it does sound like that.
Next, I'm heading to the wilderness.
That was so good. We need to play it again. Rewind.
Running away.
Damn.
What's coming next? I'm heading to
Damn. Okay, this is so cool. I love this. I love this. This is so cool. This is so good. First of all, break. Perfect. If you guys, it's kind of a weird like side reference thing to make, but this vocal combined with this like piano-y style, this speed reminds me a lot of this song. I think it's called Level 2. It was made for this anime called Solo Leveling, and it's such a banger. It ends up going into like not really an electronic direction, but it has a very similar break and vocal style to this. I just super love it. I'm in love with this type of style. Break DMB. I thought it was trap, honestly, at first. Like it has that speed to it. Also with these klung 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 sounds kind of also like Arcane, which is amazing. As far as the drop goes, I think I have two big notes. One is the vocal drop here. It's a bit too like short, like da da da. Like it feels a bit weird, or not even weird, but random. I think it would be cool to have like some choppiness to it, but then also a few notes that are like sustained and legato. Especially considering how nice this vocal is, it would be really cool to have it like have her like do like a run or find a place where you can like stretch it and have her like sustain a note. Be really nice. I would also make this Reese louder, this one here, like just needs to be a bit more. The main synth here is good. It's a great sound, but I think you could get it even grimier. What I would suggest, and this is like kind of technical, and I don't know if it's 100% going to work, but it feels like it needs something like an extra oscillator, but at a low octave. That's maybe doing some like FM modulation or something to really get that like griminess. And it's something that you can only get through distorting something that's very, very low. Like oscillating really slowly. The submissions have been crazy. Yeah, this is one of the best feedback sessions we have in so long. Like don't get me wrong, you guys are putting out like bangers all the time, but this is like crazy banger after crazy banger after crazy banger after crazy banger. Like we gotta put this one in the books. I love this. I love this. I also think the transition here could have like some sort of reverse vocal thing. I really think you should abuse the vocal as much as you can. Like just exploit the vocal and put it everywhere. You have to be creative with it to make it work, but once you have such a good vocal, I feel like it's a waste to not use it all the time. Like just do everything you can to like sell this vocal. If you guys get stuck on this track and you want someone to collab on it, you know, I would absolutely go crazy with this. Sanctuary Saturday number 46 going in the history books. Exactly. Just sent in something wonderful. Our great grandchildren will be talking about this. You know, I think of bum bum ba 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 bum bum ba 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 with snares and drums. This is true. I hope that I did your rendition justice, Green Dragon. Best music feedback stream. I'd love to hear that. That's really wonderful to hear. Oh man, I can't believe it. I don't know how I'm supposed to move on from this. Awesome sauce. I fixed up some things in the drop. Feedback. Let's go. If the vocal's in the same key as the original, I will skip this though, because I don't want to get copyright striked. Oh, without vocal. Wonderful. Ooh. Nice cover, exactly. Okay. Damn. I actually like it still feels like Future Bounce, and like it could, I don't know. I'm a little cynical still on Future Bounce as far as like you really have to go the distance and like put in a lot of effort to make it work. But I like all of the fills and stuff you're doing here. It really sets it a good bit apart. Like these vocal like bow 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 things are really good. I would say as far as those vocal fills specifically, I would add a chorus or something to make them a bit wider, because I think it will just I love having really wide fills. So you guys are gonna hear me say it a lot. Yeah, wide fills are cool. Because it still feels like it's in the middle. So if you have it like wow wow wow, and then you go back to like sort of the thing, it gives a nice contrast. The sub as well should be fatter. I feel like the sub is actually decently present. But still, I want to hear like the fully mastered version of this as well, which is maybe why I'm talking about the sub. Let me think. I think here you're also struggling a bit with the low mids. So between like 200 and 400 hertz. I would just tame it a bit so that it's not causing too many problems. Might even be as far down as like 150 hertz in your, not in your sub, but in your like mid basses, like your melodic basses, whatever you want to call them, where they might just be putting out a little bit too much, and so it's making the mix overall sound a bit bottom heavy. But yeah, I think this is cool. Hi, thanks for the feedback on the DMB track. Really appreciate it. I love it. I really love that track. It's so good. I can't wait for you guys to finish it. Sick. Love that you're taking notes, I suppose. I am. I'm so happy. I bought this notebook recently. These are notes from my university, my sample pack, so ignore that. But these are like, this is where I'm taking all of the notes for what you guys are seeing. So if you guys see me like looking down, trust me, I'm not looking at my phone. My phone is actually right here. I'm looking at my phone right now because my webcam broke. But yeah, I'm usually just taking notes because sometimes I hear something in the track and then, you know, a minute might pass and I might just forget. Kyokon made a notebook with... Oh my god! I should totally make this a Sanctuary notebook. Oh my god, this would be insane. Merchandise. But like, not even merchandise. I just want like a Sanctuary logo just plastered on the front. So like, oh, what do you do for work? I'd be getting this. We get 7 cents a month in royalties. It's amazing. Would recommend. That'd be so cool. Okay. Let's get it. I lost the page with my notes on it. Yes. Cool. I think I don't have much more to say. Mr. Kelly, I encourage you to continue, finish up the arrangement. Yeah. Oh, I can already I can hear the, not even hear, I can smell the banger coming. This is going to be insane. All right. Y'all ready for some crazy music? We making it out the hood. 7 cents.
Ever since you came back, I can barely breathe. All the talk about you're all I can see. Wish I wasn't hung up on
Oh, yes, the retriggering.
like you. Had you found some new friends and got a new vibe. Didn't think that you'd change in the blink of an eye. I remember who you were back when you were mine.
Quadron? Who's that? Okay. How does he do it?
God, I wanna call you, but my friends say no. I can feel your hands boiling up off my clothes. Gotta rip these memories out of my head. Guess you wanted something that I give you now, but I wasted my shot and I gave up the clone. Maybe if I could turn back the clocks, I might not drown. I keep running through the night, just like you look me in the eye. You said that everything was fine. I'm still patching up my heart, still drowning
Wow.
out to where we walk. There's gotta be a way that I can rewind.
Ooh. Insane. Man, it's so nice to hear like full arrangement from you, man. It's so cool. Feedback wise, I have a bunch of things and most of them are mix related. So one thing I'll say about the whole track is it feels like it's been bandpassed, where you have the mids and the mids are there, which I love. But especially here,
How'd you find some new
the vocal is already quite bandpassed and distorted as well before that, so it sounds very fuzzy, which can be cool, but the rest of the mix feels like it's trying to occupy the same space. So I'm missing a lot of the more low end, like the stuff below 500, 600 hertz, and it feels like the top end is also either being cut away or made fuzzy. Partially that might be so that the vocal doesn't feel too buried, which I can kind of get, but it does feel a little weird. Like I'm listening to something that was recorded playing out of someone's phone. If that makes sense. Like I was playing it in the car and then I recorded it on my phone and then I played it to someone else. That's kind of what it sounds like. So yeah, I would recommend like letting in or, you know, EQing up, boosting, adding some layers to fill out that space. Here in this part of the break, I think you need some sort of rhythm,
gotta rip these memories.
because you have this dung 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 dung, but it still needs something extra, I feel, to add a bit of rhythm. Now these could be just like little creative, like, you know, perks. You know, I'm thinking like more like pots and pans type of things, not like a drum kit, but just like real life sounding perks could sound cool, you know, and just like, you know, something not like a crazy super fast rhythm. Then you used to have a lot of power just to fill up the space a bit. Or you could have an instrument here doing something. I'm sure you'll be able to come up with a better idea than I can. I think Green Dragon mentioned the snare. Yeah, I think the snare for sure needs to be way bigger. This is definitely the place to have like a big reverby type of snare. Once it's so big and epic and just it has this mass to it, especially when you're filtering in so long, you want to have a snare with a lot of release because you have the space to do it. You just want the snare to go and just let it ring out. I don't know if I look like a complete maniac trying to explain this, but tried mono compressing the highs then. Mono compressing, interesting. I think overall idea is really cool. The mixing is so weird. Sounds like nothing is in the face. No, I'm feeling the same thing listening to it direct. The stereo image is the next thing I was going to talk about, where it feels like the chords are just mono. Yeah, it just feels like the whole track is in mono. It's not quite in mono, but the chords could be like wide, which I think will help with the other issue I heard, which is the grittiness of the bass. It feels like the basses you normally use have much more like high end with like I want to say like a bit of teeth, where they have this like grittiness to them that's adding a lot of power. But here it feels like the chords are probably just covering them up because they're so squeezed into the middle of a track. So I think if you made the chords more stereo, you could just use an imager or whatever you like. You know, there's a bunch of techniques to get more stereo image, but imager is probably the way to go here. I'm just very familiar with like Ozone's imager, where you can do it in multiband, so you can widen just the stuff above like 500 hertz or 600 hertz, so it's not interfering too much with your overall image and making things difficult to mix later. But I feel like it would just open up the whole track and be even more epic. And then part of me as well, if I'm talking fast, I'm just very excited. We've had so many bangers today. I'm just having a lot of fun. Charlie on a Friday. Whoa, this is not a name I thought I would see on this stream. Bonky Daniel says WTF. Okay, I'm very curious now. I'm gonna skip the extended mix because I'm lame. Released. The feedback isn't even gonna do anything. Alright. We'll still take a listen. I am gonna skip through some of this because I don't really want to listen to the whole vocal, to be honest.
Was it karma? Was it fate? Was it meant to be?
Gotta pause 1 second. Toxic Rate. The funny thing is, for my lectures, I also watch the VODs, but I have to play them faster because they talk so slow that it only sounds normal if I play it in 1.5 speed. I'm not even joking. I've actually even done 1.75 speed before. And then when like students are talking, it just sounds like Animal Crossing. But some of my lecturers talk so slow.
This way, I don't know. All I know is a broke your pretty little heart. Now you're happy, doing great. Fell in love with what's his name? Tables turn. Should've known that when I let you go, did I be losing part of me? Yeah, it's too late to fix all my mistakes, but I just hope one day you'll see. I never meant to make you fall, but that's what I get. Promising to give it all, guess that's what I get. What I won't leave you on when I can't commit. Oh, I guess. And now I'm going through it. And now I'm going through it. Was it karma?
Let me give some notes real quick before we listen to this again, because I don't want to forget, and also I don't want to get copyright striked. Okay, first of all, kick here in the break is a bit too loud.
That when I let you go, this
So you can even see it in the soundcode waveform. Not that this should be trusted, but you can see that it feels quite extreme. Where you have this kick, which I don't know if it's the same.
I'm going through it. That when I let
It feels like it's, I think, the same kick as you have in the drop, which can work sometimes, but it feels just too loud. Like it's just way too loud in the mix. So I would just have brought it down. For the drop, I think your bass is a bit loud. It's not even that it's too loud, but just it's taking up a bit too much space. Maybe if you just make the chords louder, it'll feel balanced. But I think the chords could be louder and take up also a little bit more mids and top end. Just, you know, bring them up. Just a low cut to 100 and 150 is enough. For the side of the master. Yeah, I also think 100 to 150 is probably enough. But low cutting the sides should be done in combination with stereo imaging as well, like using something like Ozone Imager. I wouldn't do it just on its own because, yeah, it doesn't really feel like enough. Usually for my tracks, I find that I need to add, or I like to check it then again with a stereo imager. All right, let's listen to the rest of this.
fade. Was it meant? I've been doing great. Bridges burning, now I'm stuck here singing in the dark.
Is there a breakdown?
Should've known that when I let you go, did I be losing part of me?
I actually kind of like that.
It's too late to fix all my mistakes, but I just hope one day you'll see. I never
Never
meant
used
to
an imager
make
on
you
mastering.
fall, but
Interesting.
that's what I get for promising to give it all. Guess that's what I get.
To be fair, though, Toxic Wraith, you're just goaded. Like, you don't need it. I'm weak.
And now I'm going through it. And now I'm going through it.
I've never used an imager on.
And now I'm going through it all. Guess that's what I get.
I think one of the other things I'm noticing is the lead here is quite in the middle. So when you layer it over the vocal, or layer the vocal over the lead, it's kind of hard to distinguish them. Like, you can hear it, because they're obviously two different sounds, but I can't like listen into the mix and like pay attention to specifically the vocal without also hearing the lead. So maybe you could just have like the lead a bit wider, or use like soothe mixing to reduce the vocal frequencies like in the middle of the leads. Yeah, just like a thought. Yeah, it's a cool remix though. What the fuck? Insane. Long ass tail. How do I fix that? Export settings usually. Just if you're using FL Studio, you can just cut remainder, and then yeah, all of this should disappear. Or just like select the time frame in which you want to export, and you'll get rid of the tail. Anyway, don't got any ideas for break? All right, let's just listen to this drop then. Oh. Oh, I like that. Clean. Clean DP lead. Yep, exactly. I don't know. For me, I just feel like something with the chords is like not enough. Like I'm missing the texture there. This is maybe where you need to layer in like some strings or some pianos or some one shots in there to get more texture in there. I don't know. It sounds clean, but too clean. I'm missing a bit of the emotion. You know, this producer uses FL Studio when you see the infinite empty tail at the end. Yeah, I think it can happen in other DAWs, but it's definitely most common in FL Studio. It's just, yeah. This is what I like my take on the DAW wars, which I don't think are real anymore. But like some people still. My friend the other day showed me a video of this guy just ranting, just absolutely wailing on FL Studio, being like, "Oh, this DAW is so horrible for beginners and stuff." And the reason why is because there are things in other DAWs like Ableton or Logic that are done for you or are set by default to be a certain way that you can get used to. And you just learn the DAW like that. You can still change it usually later, but you know, there's certain export settings, certain shortcuts that are there, certain ways that features are arranged that are fairly optimal for most people. FL Studio just doesn't have a lot of those. It just has its own kind of way, and you're free to reconfigure it however you would like it to be. And you have to do everything yourself. So it gives you, I think, more freedom than other DAWs, but that also comes with the fact that you then have to do all of that stuff yourself. You have to configure it to how you need it. And in the beginning, when you don't know, it's definitely more difficult. I really wish I had an idea for you. I would try, like, honestly, adding some Botanica elements to this. I don't know if it's going to work, but try it. And that could also be a cool idea for a break. And that's not because I'm in love with Botanica. You guys are lying. I can hear your thoughts. They're totally not true. DAW Wars is unnecessary. Every DAW has things that are trash. No, that's so true, though. Botanica is a lot of the influences that I drew upon to do the break for Astanice collab, which is somewhere in the Sanctuary Sessions Sanctuary Sessions mix that came out last Monday. If you guys have probably all listened to it at some point. The mix, my ID is in there. I think it's labeled as ID because I wanted to be cheeky. I was curious if anyone would guess if it's me working on that track. But yeah, it's very like beautiful piano with lots of glitchy, very pitchy, like color bassy. Not color bassy, but just colorful elements. All right, Road to Sanctuary release. I love that this is a thing. Please continue. I want this to be like the first day, like day one, until we get you to a release. Yeah, it's like a style or genre, basically. Hell yeah. This has like a lot of vibes of Danny Yeager. I skipped 3 IDs because I was watching YouTube shorts. I think even more magical than that is you typing that out and admitting it in chat. I appreciate the waveform. Why discontent? Is it because you relate to not having mastered tracks, maybe? Anyway. DMH, I think the vibe is cool. I like the sort of Danny Yeager-y, super kind of happy and eccentric type of lead, or melody, I should say. That being said, I think the melody is a bit too many notes in it. I like this A part, already good. Like here is where it starts to get like the melody just kind of continues when I think you could have a gap in it, and focus on just like the best notes from that. Like here as well. It just feels like there's a lot of notes in there. I think also a tip or an idea could be some of these longer notes we have this like it's kind of holding the note for quite a while. You should probably Google the term if you're not familiar with it, but you can add like tremolo. It's like basically an LFO, and it gives this like type of effect with volume, and that automated in some places on these longer notes of the lead could be really great. I'm going to produce a retro future bounce track. Please do. The vocal is off key, is it? It is actually. I think it's like 5 semitones off key though, so it's not off key for all of the notes, just for like 2 or 3. I would be 2 notes in that case. No limiter. Yes, it is indeed an easy fix. Those are my main notes. It also feels like the clap is quite swung. And not even swung, just very pre-shifted. So you might want to just shift the claps a bit forward, like just a bit, so that they land a bit more cleanly over the kick. That being said, it would be cool to have each of the claps have their own like slightly offset position, so that it's not that every single clap hits on exactly the same spot every time, but you know, one time it's a little, you know, it's like a couple milliseconds back or a couple milliseconds forward, to help add more variation into the track. Make it bass house. Bro has the most useful feedback. Why is this okay? All right, Toxic Wraith, Smurfy, Rosetto, Get Me High. Let's go. Toxic Wraith, are you still in chat?
I want somebody to take me home, bring on the party, turn me on.
Hey, let's go.
To know me, like what you see, yeah, I'll set you free. In the middle of the night where you are, I just want you by my side. I like that. Only you make me feel right coming back. All the way you get me high, all the way you get me high.
Yes. Oh my god.
Take me home, bring on the party.
A Sunder remix of this would go so hard. With the bongos? Ooh.
Like what you see, yeah, I'll set you free. In the middle of the night where you are, I just want you by my side. I like that. Only you make me feel right coming back. All the way you get me, all the way you get me high. 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 All the way you get me high.
Yeah. Damn. Toxic Wraith. I love your style. This track, I think, I love so many of your other tracks, just like personally, but I think this is really geared to be like a very commercially successful track. Like I really can see a lot of people playing this out. I can see people playing this on Spotify. I can see this on playlists really easily. Like this really does a perfect blend of, I think, what people are used to hearing and your style. It's really, really, really good. I love this. This is so good. Feedback. Mostly to do with the vocal in the break. And I have small feedbacks for you. It's nothing crazy. The vocal itself, it feels like the de-essing is a bit overdone, and I'm not sure if that's because of the way that you get the vocal, but yeah, something about it sounds like very harsh. Yeah, like the side sounds like more like shied. Like it just feels like the sibilance has been taken out so much that it starts to warp other areas of it. So I don't know what my PC is doing. Okay. Yeah, so maybe bring it back a little bit. I understand maybe for club tracks you do want it quite powerfully de-essed, but I think a little bit of letting a little bit more sibilance in is good. And I think this also reflects in like some of the other words feel like it's a bit, the way I want to say is like stuffy. Like it feels like there's a blanket over the vocal, and it's just dampening a lot of the highs. Like it's not bad, but it just feels like it could be a bit airier. Like you cued a lot. Okay, that makes sense. Samples a lot of terrible, crazy high end. I'd say maybe take this and then just try adding a fresh air to it, like on top of what you have, and seeing if that gets it back to some sort of like a more reasonable middle ground. But yeah, sometimes that's tough. Asunder remix will go so hard. Still going. Oh my god, yeah, we had so many freaking IDs, so many bangers. I can't possibly do anything else in my life right now. This is incredibly important. Also, the vocal lead in here is maybe just a touch too loud. Like it, and when I say a touch, I mean like a half a dB to 0.75 dB too loud, because I would like to hear a little more of the other elements. I love that it's loud and powerful. It's just like you might have a little room to have the same level of power coming from it and bring up the other elements in the mix. So you can maybe just try a version where it's like a dB down, see if it sounds better or worse. Might not sound good. Also, I was wondering here, like you have these like gunshots. I wonder if you could have like use your color trap technology somewhere in this to just add like a cute variation, because I think it could sound cool. Like even maybe just for this reverse, this you could have like add an extra layer to it that's really colorful and just adds like a bit of like pop and just like ooh, shiny. I don't know if that would sound good or not. It already sounds wonderful as it is. If you think it's a cool idea, do it, but don't let me ruin your track. It does. Oh, can't wait for this to be released. I hope you guys find a good home for this, because it deserves to be heard by the masses. All right, next track, The Forks credits. Ooh, interesting. Lyrics, Cyber Beetle. Translation. Oh, I see. I don't know why, but this cover is like very interesting. There's so many little details in this, with all the different colors and stuff. I can tell you put some effort into this, so this is nice. The coin. All right, let's take a listen.
Memories will follow me. The crying will not end in an endless cycle. Uncontrolled dreams. I just want to turn the other side of the coin. Blood will cover my dead skin, problems will form anxiety, unhappy endings that remember, battles from the past that overwhelm, days of fear that drown me, forgiveness is no longer a path, days of fear that drown me, forgiveness is no longer a path. Hate generated by pain, loved ones that I miss are no longer here, emotions that were no longer what they were, memories that made me bad. The coin is no longer what it seemed to be, both sides have distortion, the light starts to fail, the light starts to fail. The memories return, but in a terrible form. Life is not what it used to be. Pain and anger consumes me inside the house. I feel worse. The blood will cover all of my dead skin.
Yeah, this part sounds a bit
will
goofy
form
now.
anxiety inside of me. Traumas that overwhelm me, and problems corrupt me daily. The blood will cover all of my dead skin. Problems will form anxiety inside of me. Traumas that overwhelm me, and problems corrupt me daily. The blood will cover all of my dead skin. Problems will form anxiety inside of me. Traumas that overwhelm me, and problems corrupt me daily. Blood will cover my dead skin, problems will form anxiety, unhappy endings that remember, battles from the past that overwhelm, days of fear that drown me, forgiveness is no longer a path, days of fear that drown me, forgiveness is no longer a path.
C1. Yeah, this just repeats.
Purpose, but it failed. All that
This block makes it sound like a
once old, black is my new color. Blood will cover my dead skin, problems will form anxiety, unhappy endings that
I was gonna say
remember,
something, I
battles
forgot.
from the past that overwhelm. The harmony is ruined, and everything is lost. Blood will cover my dead skin, problems will form anxiety, unhappy endings that remember, battles from the past that overwhelm. The harmony is ruined, and everything is lost. Blood will cover my dead skin, problems will form anxiety, unhappy endings that remember, battles from the past that overwhelm. The harmony is ruined, and everything is lost.
Whoa, the ending is actually kind of sick. Okay. Feedback time. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So one, I think overall your mix is very busy, and I think you do need to do some mixing stuff to make all the drums pop out and whatever. But I'm mostly gonna talk about vocal things here, because the vocal here, it's part of this is that the vocal is like spoken word type of vocal, so it's not like a sung vocal as much.
Just want to turn the
Like here, it's more singing, but especially here,
in a terrible form.
it's much more spoken word. But for the singing part, it's a little bit pitchy,
Just want to turn.
which is masked a bit by the fact that the basses don't really fit into like a specific key, I feel like. So you kind of, it's not as obvious, but the vocal feels a bit pitchy at times. The vocal itself is often quite loud.
The other side of the
Part of that may be that when you had the vocal at a more like appropriate thing, it feels like it's being masked by some of the other elements, which can happen. That's just a case of like mixing the other elements to fit to your vocal. Because sometimes if you just make the vocal louder and louder, you're not really getting rid of those mixing issues. You're just masking them with more volume. So yeah, it might be the case that you need to EQ some of the other elements to make space for the vocal, and then just bring the vocal down in level by a couple of dB. I also think you need some reverb. This seems to be happening a couple of times this stream, but we've had quite a few like just dry vocals. Even if your vocal is like sounds good dry, even just a little bit of short reverb, so something, you know, that's like 250 milliseconds, 500 milliseconds, you know, like half a second is enough to make it fit better into the mix, and it doesn't have to be much, just like a little bit, you know. How can I say this? Even just like 10% on like the straight vocal channel could sometimes be enough to make it sit better in the mix and feel natural. Here,
This will form anxiety.
it just feels like it's popping out completely over the mix, especially. Your kicks are quite quiet.
Will form anxiety inside of this world for me. Forgiveness is no longer.
Like I can hear that there's a kick in there, but it's not being sidechained at all, and it needs to sort of do that to pop out. I also like that you guys did doubles somewhere in here.
Happy ends, no problems, correct me.
The thing here with the doubles, that usually what you expect to hear with doubles is that the doubles get panned out. So here you just have the doubles layered over each other, but what you can do is if you have two vocals, you can have one panned to the right, either all the way or 50%, and the other one panned to the left. Or if you have like 3 or 5 vocals, you know, if you're doing like Billie Eilish vocal stacks where you have literally, I'm not even joking, sometimes she has like 30 layers of vocals going on at the same time, and you pan, you know, have one in the middle that's like the main, and then you have one pan to the right and one pan to the left, and then you get this wider stereo image. I feel like the instrumental needs to be looked at. Many elements are off key or not fitting with other elements. Yeah, I do agree with that. I'm also just focusing in on like the stuff that, like, for me it's much more difficult to articulate what's going on in the instrumental. He made an alternate version and a remix of the song if you want to listen to that. I still have a couple of IDs to get through, and I do have to go in like 20 minutes. I was supposed to already finish the stream, so I had a chance to eat, but it is what it is. We send it now. I have... Oh, I think I already pulled the docs ready. Stream sheet music. I am going to close this because I just genuinely don't have time. Alright, we got 2, 3... Okay, 3 more IDs. Let's get it. Alright, On and On. Oh, no way you're remixing On and On. This is exciting. Donk Tree.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us. Love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah.
I'm definitely
I
not
don't wanna waste what's left.
singing over this vocal to stop copyright problems. Actually, it's NCS, it doesn't matter. Bow, 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 da, 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 bow, da, 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 da. Oh, this is gonna be so exciting. Yes. I have just enough time to leak the collab.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.
I think the snare is a little too bright. I like that you're using a snare. It's really cool. You don't hear it a lot. Fits really well for this, but it feels like it's a little bit too sharp. I think you can also bring up these extra loops. What are they called? Hi-hat loops thingies. They don't sound like loops. They sound like rides. I mean, yeah, I think I really don't have much to say, man. Like, you guys are too good at this. Maybe some extra stuff in the stereo space, like little fills. Here, a guitar would slay over this style. It would just absolutely, like, I want to say bomb, but that sounds like a bad thing. It just goes so crazy. Like a little lick, you know, 3-4 notes, you know, somewhere off in the left heavily, maybe not that heavily, but decently reverbed. Nickman, don't worry, I will be here next week. But yeah, it's unfortunate couldn't hear a track from you. Jordan ID Fantasy, let's go.
I like the way it feels with your eyes on me. It gets hard to conceal that I'm falling deep. I like the way it feels with your hands on me, on me. 'Cause when you touch me, it's ecstasy. And I come to life with your hands on me. Don't wake me if it's just a dream. I wanna live in your fantasy. In your fantasy.
Hey yo!
In your fantasy.
Oh! Bam, bam. Oh yes, I heard this one. Insane. So good. Long-awaited ID need a major rework. Yes. I feel like I've heard this vocal somewhere though. This melody though, and I need to take a quick look. Is it this? Like, it would be so upsetting to me if someone actually yoinked. I don't think so. I might just be hearing things. Maybe I am hearing. No, not this one. It has like reminds me of like bad reppy type of melody or something. Bam, bam, bam. So good though. I do agree the sub does need a little bit of thickness. It's Jordan sub with Jordan sub. Yeah, I definitely think the sub needs to be like thick as hell. It feels like the vocal is just a little bit too quiet. It's not even that it's too quiet, but it feels like, especially with like the main part of the vocal, like somewhere around like 2K and also around like 10K, it's not quite peaking out enough over the mix, so it feels like it's not shining. Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit more EQing in the other elements to make sure. Major Spellbound, that's what I'm thinking of. That's the song. Because it's like it sounds like bad rep somehow, but I like this better than Spellbound though. Like, not to call you out, but we're gonna listen to Spellbound now, and I think I will genuinely prefer. Oh, I forgot. I need to. This one. The thing is, they're using like a way cleaner sound selection, so it sounds more powerful. Also, the kick, if you hear, has a much pointier transient. And the thump as well is more distinct. Like that kick is just adding so much power here. This is one thing that I'm also partially struggling with. If I can find the track with, I've leaked this before, I think, but with this track that also has like very much like, you know, it's fitting in this bad reputation style type of thing. I literally made it just for the meme of saying that I made like a bad rep style track, but this one also has this like insane. But you hear how like the difference between the kick and clap. Like that kick just has a much thumpier, much more pronounced thump, and I think you would benefit from that here. Ah, the chord progression. Gotcha. No way I hear the same chord progression as Spellbound. DP is goated with the drum sound. I mean, yeah, he's the iconic person that everyone has stolen his kick. Yeah, I still am waiting for breaks on this. Because I sent it off to a friend to collab on. I'm excited to get them back eventually. Like, do you guys think I should release this at some point? I mean, if you guys tell me it sucks, I won't release it. I won't bother. But it's more so that I'm not sure if the melody is like good enough. I'm actually most proud of the chords. Like the melody's like whatever. I just really like the chords I designed for this. They're using a lot of like cool automations to get like more texture. I'm gonna be real. It needs some more oomph. Yeah, I think so. I think it's mostly my basses. I need Jordan bass. Because I mean, listen to this bass. So such a nice tonality, and mine just sound like dog shit. Yeah, they just sound thin and disgusting. We're not listening to Spellbound, funnily enough. Yeah, I will listen to this, and then I will leak the discontent ID, and then we will go, because I have 5 minutes and then I need to like quickly dress and leave. Feedback Spellbound. Sheet mix in 1 hour. Oh. Oh my god, I would be so down, Toxic. That sounds like a great idea. Feedback stream for released music. I will become the new Anthony Fantano. Clunky melody, nothing more to say. It's beautiful. I think you could actually use a lead though that's an octave lower than the other leads you have, because it feels like the lead is like, and it can also be like, nah. It needs a bit of that like, oh, mid presence stuff. I don't like lead, but it's Alat. I'm assuming Alat is good. Honestly, intro could be a full track. Real. This just sounds so nice. I also think the lead needs to be stereo to really make it hit more. And that might just be keep the lead layers you have here, but add wider ones. So add ones that are more stereo. So you can either have one lead that's panned left and one lead that's panned like 50% right, 50% left. Or you could just have more like detuned unison leads. Those also work. But I personally am a big proponent of, when you're layering, have things that are like panned. Panning is, I feel like, just underutilized when it comes to layering, because people are afraid that it's going to sound weird and wonky, which it can, but you also have like this big potential to make something that really sounds luscious and exciting. And like you can listen to it 100 times and it just sounds more dynamic and interesting than, you know, a lead that hasn't been designed that way. All right, the leak. 4 months, as you can see, I am the best at collab work. Lamau. This used to have a vocal and a vocal drop on it, so it's missing that, but I've been waiting now. Toxic Wraith will know. I don't know if you've ever managed to get Selena to do vocals for you, but I asked her when she could do vocals, and she said, yeah, I have busy schedule, so a couple of months. She said, no, I think she said a month or two. It just never ended up happening, but we'll see. If not, well, we'll see if I can maybe find someone else. That's like the thing I'm honestly waiting for to finish this track, is like getting vocals for it. Also, I need to make this maybe a bit more interesting. Oh god, this one is crazy. Need more sub? I bet. Yeah, you guys give me as much feedback as possible. I'm more proud of this break though. Like, I think this is where I did more work. The drop is Discontent's brainchild. Vocal could be quieter, shut up. Okay. I also think the transitions kind of suck on this. Oh my god, sidetrain second drop, we totally could. Alright, so Kyokan, your dog shit. We're hunting you. You haven't paid your taxes. The IRS is looking for you. Anyway, I think the transitions are kind of weak here. Like, you're missing some extra energy in the build. The snares are kind of meh. This is cool, but it's really missing a vocal to fill in the space. Someone said something about the chord stabs. Yeah, I think that you could even have a more sub in there. I don't want to overload it though, because it already has quite a deep, like 808 type of sound. But a bit more couldn't hurt. I also agree that the sign thing is too much. Yeah, also Kyokan, this song made me almost kill myself. Thanks, man. I typed it out. This song almost made me kiss my son. Can't wait till we get vocal chops back in the drop. Yeah, I agree. Like part of this is I can this is the last thing I will do, but I will pull up the older version for y'all. And you guys will hear the massive difference with the vocal chops. Is it this? Yeah, the vocal chops made such a difference as far as the dynamic of how it sounded. All right. But now here, this mix obviously sounds more powerful. This just sounds a bit wider. I still can't decide. Sometimes I can't tell if it's the vocal chops that sound better or if I actually fucked up the mix. The sine chord sounds cooler. I don't know. I'm lost, y'all. Hell yeah, vocal chops mad. I don't know. I just didn't like the vocal. I thought the vocal was like... I don't know. I really wanted for the custom vocals. So I really want to sign this somewhere cool. But maybe I just bounce the AB parts first. Yeah, I agree. I definitely know I still have like 10-15 hours of work before we actually get like a vocal in there. As far as just like balancing it, working out all the different little kinks. I think there's definitely a place to add more nuance. The builds need help. So yeah, that's stuff. I need to leave. I should have left 5 minutes ago. Chat, was a wonderful stream. This really was so much fun. I hope to see many of you next week. And yeah, I hope the feedback was good. I hope you all have as much fun as I did. This is so sad. Yeah, the stream is ending. VC soon, please. I honestly am down. DM me. We should do something. I've been meaning to do some voice chat stuff anyway, because like I need to work, and it's kind of tough on my own. So yeah, we'll talk. I'll see you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye. Goodbye, everyone.